El 4 de septiembre se lanza el nuevo juego de Crystal Dynamics y Square Enix, Marvel's Avengers. Y Mundo G tuvo una entrevista exclusiva para Latinoamérica con su director, Shaun Escayg.
In the first trailer, we saw the original Avengers, like Iron Man, Black Widow, Captain America, but later we found out that Kamala was going to be a principal character. How many of the comics characters will appear in the game, and will there be any other surprises?
Answer shortly, yes, there's going to be tons of surprises. But when we start out with the first trailer, you were right. We wanted to show the Avengers, show sort of the disaster, kind of set the stage that this was something new. This wasn't the Avengers that you've probably seen in the MCU. After the A-Day disaster, that there was two groups of people, if you will, and of those two groups, our villain and our hero came from. One were those injured, physically by the disaster, which was George Tarleton, and the other group was those of people that were probably infected by the Terrigen Mist, which is Kamala, and how they perceived the superheroes after this event. And the campaign is, just so you know, just the beginning of this story. It's just the assembly of your Avengers and journeying with Kamala through this process. And it just sets up the stage for this larger world of, heroes versus AIM, humanity versus AIM, Inhumans versus AIM, and, SHIELD versus AIM. And in that construct, you have opportunities for new villains to take advantage of it, of the Avengers being on their back footing, new heroes to come to their aid. So yeah, the stage is set to put a ton of surprises in it.
How did you balance the expectation from the movie fans and the comic fans?
Yeah, it's a challenge for sure. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw sort of responses to it, and we knew going in that we would have faced a challenge. I mean, a lot of people, they grew up on that 10-year history of the MCU, for example. This is a different Avengers, not the MCU Avengers, but this is our take on them. This is our original take on it. It has no relationships other than it's in the Marvel canon and heavily guided by Marvel to make sure that it stays that way. But in terms of our world, our story, all of that's completely original. Here you have an intellectual, very sophisticated villain, George Tarleton, aka MODOK, that has, posed a real question to society, which is, can we harness these powers? Can we control these powers? And in doing so, replace these superheroes so that we can control our outcomes and not be at their mercy. And that's a real struggle for Kamala, that's a real struggle for the player, a real struggle for even the Avengers themselves.